Here are the answers for day 4, problem 1. Solve this equation using the completing the square technique. So with the completing the square technique, we're attempting to factor the trinomial as a binomial squared. So let's figure out what constant term we need to have so that this is a trinomial squared. To make it a little bit easier, we can add the existing constant term to the other side and leave a blank spot here. Now let's figure out what number we need in the blank spot. Take half of this, so half of -6 is -3, and then square that. -3 squared is +9. So put a 9 in the blank spot and on the right side. Now the trinomial factors as x minus 3 squared. And on the right side, 7 plus 9 makes 16. That's completing the square. Now from this point, we're going to solve this by removing the squaring. You do that using square root. So when you take the square root of the left side, you just get the x minus 3. When you take the square root of the right side, you've got to remember to do positive and negative square root of 16. Then add 3 to both sides to get the x alone. We end up getting 3 plus or minus 4. This is really two different answers. 3 plus 4 makes 7, and 3 minus 4 makes -1. Here are our two answers to the equation. Now, day 4, problem 2. Write out the quadratic formula, ideally for memory, but if you had to look it up, you had to look it up. It's x equals -b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Question B, solve the equation with the formula. So a is the 3, b is 1, c is -1. Now use the formula. So when it says -b, we put -1. Now b squared, 1 squared makes 1. Fill in a and fill in c. And then it's all divided by 2 times a. That's going to be a 6. Now let's simplify in the radical. -4 times 3 times -1 makes +12. And 1 plus 12 makes a 13 in there. And that's all over 6. Here are the two answers to the equation left in this compact form. If you want to actually get two numbers as separate things, then use a calculator and go -1 plus square root of 13, then press enter, then divide 6. Then to get your other answer, type in -1 minus the square root of 13, press enter, then divide by 6.